Well, hello and welcome to another episode of The Elsa Kurt Show. I'm Elsa Kurt. I hope you're all doing well today. I hope you've been having a great week. Mine is pretty stellar. I'm actually in a little while, looking up at a clock, a little while, I'll be jumping on a plane to go see my grandbaby. I'm very excited about that. She's turning a year. Can you believe this? A year. A year has gone by since she blessed our lives and the world by appearing. And she's just the greatest thing. I'm just so infatuated with her. She's so fresh. I love it. I love fresh kids. I really do. She's fresh in a fun way. Really sassy. It's so much fun. So anyhow, so that's a big deal for me. That's a great thing. So I am obviously in a terrific mood, antsy. I'm not a good traveler, so and especially with the airlines and flights and all of the nonsense going on and the challenges with that. So that part I'm dreading and stressing out about, but in a low key kind of way, just really like a very calm facade, right? So cross your fingers for me if you would. I'd appreciate that. I'll get there no matter what. I mean, even if I have to, run, I will get there for her birthday. No question about it. So let's see. So we've got stuff to talk about today. Okay. We're going to talk about the weaponization of our federal agencies. There's a great article I want to read from, and discuss a little bit about exactly that. And of course, I'm referring to the one that probably came right to mind right off the bat with the FBI and the raid on Mar-a-Lago, Trump's home, which was, in the opinions of a lot of people, it was a big distraction. It was a big, it's just an attempt. They're terrified. They are terrified of Trump running and winning in 2024. And we all know that's exactly what will happen. And they know it. More importantly, they know it. They know they're done after this. And that's why they're doing everything that they're doing. They're just trying to do as much damage as they possibly can in the time that they have left. I mean, they're just putting their agenda in full motion with no stops, no brakes in that vehicle. Oh God, I almost said something awful about Anne Heche's car. What is wrong with me? Well, now we got to talk about that. So yes, unless you do not watch any news whatsoever, and if you don't, oh my God, good for you. I bet you are so happy. I bet you are so relaxed. If you don't watch any news whatsoever, you are probably the most chill person on the planet, right? Oh God, I envy you. So yeah, Anne Heche, American actress, famously known for dating Ellen DeGeneres many years back, but for quite some time they had a big public breakup, all kinds of drama and stuff. She's Anne Heche. She's been in a lot of movies. She's a really good actress. I thought she was a good actress. In her later years, she had a lot of very public incidents that put into question her mental stability and her mental health. So anyhow, long story long, she lost control of her vehicle and crashed into a home, which the vehicle caught on fire. When the firefighters actually, I don't think the paramedics were on scene based on the images, or maybe they were. I don't really know. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. Anyhow, they pulled her out, and she ended up on life support and was declared brain dead, and she died. Very sad, very tragic. She has children. She has, I think, two sons, if I remember correctly. So very heartbreaking for them. Now, here's where things get a little wonky. So there was a helicopter over this house that she had plowed through. I think it was like their garage. The helicopter cameras tracked the movement of the firefighters moving the gurney with Anne Heche on it, who was in a white, not sealed, zipped, I guess, wrapped. What it looked like to the casual observer, what it looked like was a body bag, and there was no movement on the gurney. And Then all of a sudden, which shocked everyone, including the guy with the camera in the helicopter, um, Anne Heche, you see her jump up, like lean forward and start trying to like claw at the straps and get up and everything. And everybody kind of went, whoa. Here's that footage. Don't watch if you're sensitive. It's nothing graphic, but here you go.
The activity that we were looking for, that anxious or that quick moving that was going on the other side of the vehicle. Oh my gosh, he's completely alive.
So yeah, that's a shocking, upsetting, disturbing, all of the things. Um, Also technically like easily explainable what happened, which people did explain, kind of right away. That that's a shock reaction, it's adrenaline, fight or flight response, all of the things that they said. So now here's where things go off the rails a lot. So if you go on TikTok, yes, of course I'm talking about TikTok. It's what I do, people. If you happen to go on TikTok, I'm sure it's the other places too, but this is where I see these things. That place, TikTok, is the place. If you want to go down rabbit holes, just go there. Just go there. You will go to all kinds of crazy, crazy places that will make your brain itch. So anyhow, so the latest thing going on around that topic, Anne Heche's death, is that it was not an accident and that she was, offed basically because of her involvement. So here's where some things get kind of muddled. And I will tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think. But here's what they're saying. So they're saying everything was suspicious about the incident, the way that the car lost control, or that it seemed like the brakes were cut, that she had no brakes, that she was like minutes before this happened, she was buying a red wig. And there were a few other things I'm drawing blanks on, but these are the highlights or lowlights. So all those things they felt were questionable. And the way that she went through the house, how they took her out, they're saying that it's like unheard of. And they is like a whole bunch of people on the internet. That's who they is, just so you know. They said that, that the firefighters were taking her from the residence to the ambulance was like unheard of. They took issue with the seemingly body bag that she was in, and then jumped out of like something out of a zombie movie. They're disputing the she was burned severely, because of when you see that video, all you see is her backside, and from what we can see, there appears to be no burns on that part of her body, what we can see. So the reason why they are claiming these things, that it's suspicious, that it's foul play, is because of her involvement in a film or documentary or something along those lines. Oh, they're saying documentary, actually. I want to be specific here. They're saying because of her involvement in a child trafficking documentary, like exposing people, that's why she was, you know. So now, of course, when you go down the rabbit hole, okay, you do have to, like, if you're going to go down the rabbit hole, and if you want to keep yourself somewhat sane or impartial or something, what you want to do is you got to watch both sides. You got to see like both sides of the argument, because that's the only way you can stay sane. Because if you only go down the rabbit hole, I don't know you're going to start wearing a tinfoil hat. And believe me, I am right there with the conspiracy theorists on a lot of things, because they've been proven right. So they're not really conspiracy theorists, right? They're predictors. They're knowledgeable people who read more or watch more than just the mainstream media. So they're not really, we just use that term. That's the blanket term these days for anyone who doesn't go with the norm, with the status quo of beliefs and statements and blah, blah, blah. They're not conspiracy theorists, but we use that term, right? But sometimes, like I think, now here we are at my opinion, and I'm totally fine with being wrong. If I'm wrong, I will eat my hat. I won't eat my hat. I love this hat. So the counter argument to that is, and they're very logical counter arguments to the conspiracy theorist theories. One, not a body bag. It was probably like a burn bag. I know, I know that's probably not the right term. I know. But it's just a protective wrap. And when you replay that video, you can see that she's not sealed up. Her feet are sticking out. The straps that are around her are actually very loose. It was explained, are very loose, just tight enough to keep her from falling off. And what she did was not surprising or uncommon at all for somebody who's probably in severe shock. As for the burns, they didn't actually address that part in the video that I saw. But to me, logic says that was the backside of her body. And I hate to get so graphic about something tragic, but the backside of her, it does make sense. If she's against if her back is on the backrest of her seat and the flames are coming at her this way, we didn't see the front part of her, so we don't know, what she looked like. But she, so the word from the hospital and everything was, or doctors, that she had not brain trauma, but lack of oxygen to the brain. And that's what caused her death, brain dead. So yeah, and a lot of stuff about Ellen DeGeneres as far as the whole conspiracy theory go, that she's involved with some dark things, blah blah blah. And these are conversations that have been going on for quite some time about the Hollywood folk and their associations and their dark dealings and all that kind of stuff. I mean, are you what? I'm sorry, what are you asking me what I think? I don't know. I don't like these people. Do I think they're, worshiping the devil and all of that stuff? I mean, I don't really know. I don't know. I know that they're, I know I don't like them. I'm not a fan of the Hollywood crowd as much as I'm interested in stepping into a lane of doing a little acting and stuff like that. That does not interest me. So once again, I make my appeal to the Daily Wire and Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro and Michael Knowles. I'm asking you guys, please start a streaming service for sitcoms, like create some sitcoms. Oh, hi, I just happen to be available to star in a sitcom. I already have it all planned out, guys. This is my, appeal. You saw my other one. Did you guys see my other one? Okay. Here's the one. I'm not even kidding you. I actually made a video and I put it on. I don't care. I got no shame, guys. I I put it on Twitter and probably Instagram too, I'm guessing. Probably TikTok as well. I make so many videos, I forget what the hell I make. Anyhow, here it is.
Oh, hi. You're probably not wondering who I am, but I'm going to tell you anyway. My name is Elsa Kurt, and I thought I'd try and capitalize on my 15 minutes of fame. What's my 15 minutes of fame all about? Okay, I'll show you. Anyhow, we're a Daily Wire family, and this is the brand razors my husband uses. Anyhow, I am a conservative podcast host, actor, TikTok actor. I don't know if that actually counts, but let's go with it, okay? I know you guys are super busy with your shows and your films and all of the exciting things that are going on over at the Daily Wire right now, but I was hoping you'd maybe consider adding, a sitcom to your list. And I just happen to know somebody who would love to star in one, and who also writes and acts and has a pretty good idea of what she wants to do. So, what do you think? You know the old saying, if you want something done, ask a busy person. So, I figured I'd ask you. I'm just a woman standing in front of her camera, asking a man to create a show for her. I don't think that's unrealistic.
I mean, guys, listen, I love Pure Flix. I love all of those I love all of the conservative based things. So that's my lane. That's my lane, guys. If anybody's asking, I get so intense when I'm talking to you guys. I keep leaning, I keep going closer and closer to the camera. I can't stop it. Somebody needs to like just put their finger on my forehead so I stay back. Sorry. You don't, nobody needs to be that close. So anyhow, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know how I just got from Anne Heche conspiracy theories to my own sitcom, but that's how I roll, guys. So anyhow, we talked a little bit about the FBI raid. We talked a little bit about Anne Heche, which was a unplanned smacking my microphone thing. It was an unplanned segue. I don't even know if that was a segue. I just jumped into it. What else do I want to talk to you about? I said we were going to talk about this whole weaponization of our federal agencies. And because I'm not smart enough to like really explain that stuff well, I am going to share with you an article I was reading from the Daily Wire. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, don't worry. But I want to tell you it's from the Daily Wire. And the author of this is Cody Wisniewski. Cody, I apologize if I destroyed your last name there. But he wrote this really great opinion article called Weaponizing Federal Agencies and the Danger of Unchecked Government. So I want to give you some of the highlights here. And the reason that I'm of course sharing is because I fully agree, and I'm curious if you agree as well. So I would love to hear from you. So he starts off talking about that everyone in the United States and most of the Western world has heard about the Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI, raid on the former President Trump's personal residence, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. So mainstream media, of course, has taken this as the opportunity to shout their rhetoric. Unchecked, and he goes on to say, I kind of just skipped a little, he says, but unchecked federal agencies, and not just the FBI, are being weaponized against the American people. So he talks a little bit about the August 8th raid, in which they took, or they supposedly went in search of classified files, which, by the way, all the former presidents have in their possession, and we won't even get into Hillary Clinton, right? Oh, I'm just kidding. Of course we will. But we're going to do this in a fun way. I want to share this video with you because this just tells you everything in a nutshell. If you don't remember the whole Hillary Clinton email scandal and what happened with her, which, by the way, spoiler, nothing happened. You already know that. But watch this video because it does it all in a really great, funny way. I take no credit for.
Investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top secret. 36 of those chains secret. And 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was admitted. There was no law, no regulation.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, not even Gmail.
Well, first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence.
Nothing was marked classified.
Now let me tell you what we
Oh
found.
my God.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains
It was a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains are top
It wasn't the
secret.
best choice.
36 of those chains
I said
secret.
it was a mistake.
And 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it
With
make?
respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reason.
Yeah, right. How about that? That was pretty impressive. People are so talented, aren't they? Oh my God, so talented. So anyhow, of course, the side note, the funny, not funny, haha, funny, more like WTF is that, what's her horrible face? Nancy Pelosi, with her Cheshire cat evil grin, said she had no knowledge of nothing. I don't know. Really? Biden is claiming to have no knowledge of that. Not, we didn't hear him say that, to the best of my knowledge. Somebody spoke for him and said that he didn't know anything about that. I actually, of course, I made a video, guys. Of course, I did. Here,
You're 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 asking me if I had prior knowledge of Donald Trump's home being raided by the FBI. I had no idea, none. So I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know anything. Just have to let justice, take its course. No. You guys, I didn't even know that this was even happening. And I am as surprised as you are, okay? And seriously, why didn't anyone tell me? Okay? That's what I want to know. And all I can say is that I think this is a step in the right direction. Yeah, hi. Yeah, no, you know what? Joe and I, we had no idea that this was transpiring. I will let Joe speak for himself. Joe, come on over here. Joe, yeah, did you hear him? Joe said he has no idea. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, great.
okay. So back to the article. Back to the article. So Cody goes into a little bit more about the FBI and why he's saying that it's been weaponized. If beyond the Mar-a-Lago raid, he talks about how Merrick Garland ordered the FBI to investigate parents at school board meetings across the country because they were being labeled as a threat for trying to protect their children. He also points out when the FBI seemingly, I'm quoting, direct quoting, seemingly repeatedly lied to the ever secretive surveillance court in order to illegally conduct electronic surveillance. And he goes on to say Waco, Ruby Ridge, but you can't talk about those incidents without the FBI now labeling you as potential militia violent extremist. Yes, you did see their list of extremists, of domestic terror threats, which are basically, average regular Americans. It's mind blowing. Oh, let's see. So, of course, now we have the IRS. And going back to the article here, the IRS, as you know, just added 87,000 additional IRS agents who are also to be armed IRS agents. And part of their job description, is that they must be willing to carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. The IRS tax collectors may use deadly force on you, average American. Please tell me that that's not weaponized. And I have some swampland to sell you. So, and by the way, and this is in the article, I'm going to read this exactly. This is the same IRS, mind you, that admitted to targeting conservative organizations using heightened scrutiny and inordinate delay. They admitted to doing this. Hello, corruption. Oh, and while the IRS says that it will absolutely not, that's in quotes, target small businesses or middle-income Americans, it's pretty telling that the IRS feels it necessary to even say as much. Yes, I agree completely. Then let's go, he talks about the CDC, Center for Disease Control. Do I need to say more? Anyone who would actually take the time to watch one of my shows is already all over this. CDC, who has now basically rolled back everything that they said. before. And oh, here we go with those conspiracy theorists again who've been saying all along, the very things that the CDC is now saying. And in addition to that, of course, they are saying that they're not going to differentiate between unvaccinated and vaccinated people anymore. They're like, okay, don't do that anymore. We're not just everybody is the same. We're leveling the playing field again, as it should have always been. And, so now, of course, we have all of these people, all of these frontline workers who lost their jobs and their whole livelihoods and really probably destroyed some lives. Um, now it's like, okay, never mind. Yeah. I, so there's that. Oh, here's one I actually would not have thought of on my own. Um, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, that's ATF. This is the agency that is currently in the process of trying to redefine the word firearm through agency rulemaking. He goes on to say, this isn't Congress passing a new law. This is a federal agency changing its interpretation of federal law in order to expand its power. That's a big deal. I mean, clearly that's a big deal. I'm curious if you knew about all of these things. You probably did because you are probably smarter and more in tune with things than I am. But some of these things really kind of came as this one. After the fact, I realized, oh, yeah, that's right. I did kind of know that, but I think this is and this is why this is so important. There's so many things going on everywhere all the time. We're bombarded with all of these things. A lot of stuff gets filtered out because there's just only so much you can retain. There's only so much you can think about at a given time. And so I think things like this are really important to just kind of give like these bullet points, like, just FYI, we're getting distracted by this shiny object and this shiny object. But while they're distracting us with these shiny objects, these are the things that they're doing. This is what they're doing right now while they're distracting us with other things. Yeah, it's crazy. So he goes on to explain why the Mar-a-Lago raid was hugely problematic. Even if it were justified, the agency's handling of the scenarios exposes the severe lack of trust federal agencies have rightfully earned for themselves over the past half century or more. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the trust level is gone. You would have to, I mean, I think honestly, I think we're at a point where these agencies have to be like dismantled and rebuilt from the ground up, because how else are we going to regain that trust for them? I don't know what the answer is. I'm going to get a smart person on here who does have some answers. And I do have somebody in mind. We're going to get somebody on the show to have a conversation about this exact topic. Because I'm really curious and I don't have any answers for it. And I would like to know, what a professional thinks on this topic. So stay tuned for that. We're going to do that. I'm going to get my producer on that and find me a person. I think I do know who I want though. So anyhow, so that's what's going on with all that stuff. If you didn't know, if you did know and you were busy and kind of got sidetracked and everything, totally understandable. But that's what's going on. Big, big stuff, guys. Did I mention I wanted to say a quick thing about Liz Cheney? Bye, Liz. Bye bye. There's no surprise. It's a relief. Because we don't really know what's going to happen in any of these elections or primaries or any of these things. We don't know what's going to happen because of the mass corruption that goes on or has been going on. So that's quite a relief. She's gone. She's out. Harriet Hagman is now going to take her seat, and I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's a big message being sent, and it's very promising. So if your hope level has like sunk down to here, I hope that it's going back up. We talk about that red wave coming, and all we can do is do our part, not just hope. We can't just, sit back and hope that happens. We actually have to do our part and make that happen. So that's on us. So anyhow, so yeah, she's gone. Bye, Liz. See ya. Wouldn't want to be a, I never wanted to be her. What do I want to talk about? Oh, I know. I want to talk about me. So obnoxious, isn't it? Oh my God, that's obnoxious. But I do anyhow. So I'm going to talk about myself. Um, Gee, I was all excited. For a second, I was all excited about doing that. Now I feel really awkward about it. No, I'm good. I'm good. We're good. So I want to tell you about a few things that are going on. I think I mentioned to you a little while back, definitely not in the last episode, but a little while back, I mentioned to you that I was doing a little acting, la di da, besides my TikTok acting. I mean, it's totally different worlds, right? So, so different. Um, TikTok acting, so I will explain. TikTok acting is basically most of the time for most creators like myself, it's just you and your camera, and you have all this power and control over your content. Like I'll record a video. Here's my phone. Here's my pretend phone. I record a video, blah, 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 blah. It's actually on a stand, really, but so we're just pretending. My hand is a stand. Da, 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 da. Sometimes I'll script them. Sometimes it's off the cuff. It's all over the board. It's all over the place. But anyhow, when you're acting for TikTok, right? Wrong air quotes. When you're acting for TikTok, there we go. Um, it's just so different. There is overacting that goes on because you're being exaggerated, like everything is kind of exaggerated, which of course is entirely different than real acting. Um, anyhow, so I auditioned for a short film series. It's a web series. It's called the Sadie McAllister Files. And it is the producers are lovely, wonderful acquaintances of mine that I know through the authorship world, book writing stuff. We've been to conventions together and all that kind of stuff. And great community, by the way. Author community is really cool. So anyhow, I haven't seen them in a long time. They're in New Hampshire. Yes. And I'm in Connecticut. So, not crazy far, but we're not near each other either. So anyhow, their production company, it's two women. It's called Book Sisters Productions. They are on YouTube. Please go find them and follow them. Book Sisters Productions. If you see Sadie McAllister Files, then you know you found the right place. Give them a follow because they are wonderful, wonderful women. Very, very insanely talented. So they created and wrote and are producing this short film series, The Sadie McAllister Files. And I auditioned for the role of Sadie McAllister's mother, Michelle. So that's my character. I got it. I got the part.
Well, it is finally go time. It is 4:50 a.m. We're heading to New Hampshire to film my role in a short series called The Sadie McAllister Files. Here we go.
The funny thing for me, like the funny realizations for me was that, oh my God, I am such a control freak in that I'm so used to controlling what you, the viewers, see of me. I control the angles so you don't get my double chin. I mean, it is what it is, but I do that. I make sure that my angles are good for me, that my lighting is just right for me. And call it vanity, call it whatever you want. I'm totally fine with that because that's accurate. And then when the camera is in someone else's hands, you have no control. And people see you differently than how you see yourself, right? So it was a little bit hard for me to get out of my own head and like not think things like, does she have my good side? Does she have my good side? Is she, does she know, like, give me a heads up if you're seeing too much of this going on, or, and I was very professional. I was very professional. I didn't do any of those diva things. Like I didn't say, let me see that before Yeah, I didn't do any of that. I swear. I'm not difficult to work with. And they will confirm that. I am 100% a team player, all of that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying it was that was the challenging part for me, to relinquish control. That was crazy. Some of the fun stuff was, which I didn't know would be fun. But like the having to do numerous takes of things so you can get like different angles and different, you know, stuff and things. And what a great experience. I loved it. I really did. It was a great learning lesson. Do I think I did a great job? I think I did pretty okay for my very first time. Um, I have not seen it yet. I haven't seen the final product yet. It releases in the fall. So the web series will be up in the fall. I don't have an exact date for you, but when I do, or when we do, I will absolutely let you know. Maybe, maybe after I see it myself and then decide, no, it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about them and their thing. And I was just a very small part of it. So I don't know. I'm very nervous, but I'm excited too. And that means, so doing that, I got an IMDb credit. So now I am officially an actor, and I'm on IMDb. You can go check that out. You just go on that, type in Elsa Kurt, and my profile will come up. It's so crazy. It's so bizarre to see yourself on there. The other really fun, cool thing that I did, so a little while back, actually, I filmed a sketch comedy scene for a show called That Show Tonight, which is also on YouTube. They have their own, if you go to thatshowtonight.com, it's a conservative based sketch comedy show. So if you think of SNL, but funny, that's what you got. And they're doing a great job. They're like grassroots, so they are, you know, working on getting funding, getting sponsors, and all that great stuff. And they're doing such a great job. So I would love for you to go check that out. That's on thatshowtonight.com. Or I don't think it's on YouTube yet. I think you have to subscribe to get the live shows. So go do that. It's like really inexpensive. I think it's like $5 to subscribe. It's like nothing, right? I mean, you spend that on a coffee at Starbucks, a small, or no, what is it? What is their small called? I don't even know. I'm not a fan. Um, so anyhow, so I've got that going on. I gotta look at my notes, see what else I have going on. So I did that. That was super fun. So I have two of those types of things under my belt. I'm really excited. Here's a funny one that just happened the other day. Oh, well, you know what's easier? Guess what? The video will explain. Here it is.
So a couple of days ago, my husband says to me, "Babe, because this is the way he looks at his phone. Babe, what's an influencer?" And me, because I hate explaining things for some obnoxious reason. "What do you mean you don't know what an influencer is?" "Of course, you know what an influencer is. It's like, it's like a social media person who people follow and stuff like that." "Wow. Well, why are you showing up on my Amazon? I see them on Amazon." We spend a lot of time on Amazon. "Oh, it's just something they're doing. So if you buy from their lists, then they get like a little commission from it, I guess. They put all of their favorite things that they love or want or like or whatever, and they put it on Amazon in lists, and people can shop from it. That's all it is." So my husband, who has never really watched TikTok except for the things that I force him to look at, says to me, "Huh, you should do that." So I said, "Thanks, honey, that's sweet, but I'm pretty sure I don't have enough followers to be considered for the Amazon influencer program." But of course I had to go and check. And, well, I'll be damned. Guess who's in the Amazon influencer program? Believe me, I swear to you, I am not so full of myself that I think that you care about what I like and what I would buy or have bought. But if you want to go take a look, that would be really cool. And it's also totally cool if you go take a look and you come back here and laugh at me. It's fine. Just put a bunch of laughing emojis in the comments. I will totally get it.
Yeah, so how about that? What? What? Come on now. I'm an influencer, guys. I'm an influencer. What? So goofy, isn't it? But I will tell you, um, it is great fun to make these lists. I'm like shopping. All it basically is I am creating wish lists essentially, or purchase lists. Like, so it's a combination of things that I have or things that I've bought and own, and things that I want, like my wish list, basically. And I'm just sharing them publicly with you, with anyone. So if you, so like for example, if you like my hat, which I did get on Amazon, which I'm pretty sure is in one of my lists. If you like my hat and you're like, hey, I love your hat, where'd you get it? I'm like, oh, you can go right on Amazon and get it off my list. So how fun is that? So if I have something that I really, really love and I share it with you, and if you really, really love it, you can go buy it also. And yes, I do get a little bit of commission from it. So how fun is that for me? I don't know if it's fun for you or not. But I think what the cool thing is for you, the shopper, is that everything's compiled. Like, if you, Amazon is like the Wild West, everything under the sun pops up. So if you like go look for dark sunglasses, you're going to find like 8,000 pairs of dark sunglasses. But if you see a specific pair, um, I don't have them on me. They're upstairs and I'm downstairs. But I just bought a pair of sunglasses off there, which I will make a video. Oh my God, what a shock. She's going to make a video. I'll make a video with those guys. And if somebody likes those sunglasses, they can go to my list and buy them. So that's how it works. You probably knew that already. And I'm explaining the obvious too. And you're like, just shut up already, will you? So that's what I've got going on. It's a lot of fun. I'm doing the countdown, here's the last thing about me. I'm doing the countdown to when I can do all of my stuff and things full time, um, which is September 1st. As of September 1st, you guys, all of this stuff, all of my media stuff is going to take absolute center stage of my workday, of my work life. And I get to really focus in on all of this stuff. So I did some trial runs of some content or format, more like format ideas of what I want to do with the show. You may have seen, I think I did it for like a week or so. Sorry, I just cracked my knuckle. um, I did for like a week or so daily. I worked on daily episodes to see how that felt. And I do apologize for the randomness, the not even flow of how things are going here. We're going to get that straightened out, I promise. And you've been so gracious to bear with me. But I'm thinking more of like a 3-day a week show. I'm undecided if it's going to be morning or evening. I just don't know. I really can't decide. Maybe you can help me. Why didn't I think of I have the worst time asking for help. And it's always like an afterthought for me to ask for help. Duh. Can you help me, please? Um, do you think I should do mornings or evenings? There's always going to be the Thursday night show. The Thursday night show is probably going to be more like the interview show where I have a guest on and we talk about stuff. But the daily one or the 3 days a week one is just going to be chit-chatting. It's just going to be talking about stuff and things that are going on. And maybe that sounds terrible to you. Like, oh my God, I can't sit and listen to you go on for a half hour, 3 days a week. Don't do that to me. Please. I'm doing it anyway, guys. I just need to know, like, if you're actually interested in that contact. Like, don't jump in the comments and be like, yeah, I'll do it. We don't even want to hear from you. No, we're not mean people. We're nice people. We're kind. Okay. So come in and jump in and say kind comments and give me some thoughts. Tell me what you think. Do you want to see a weekly or daily show? Do you want to see or listen? Because it's both. It's audio and video. 3 days a week. I think 5 days a week is really pushing it, guys. I got a lot of stuff. I have a lot of projects and things. So I just don't know if I can actually do that. Like physically, literally do that and fit everything else in the day. because I don't have the greatest organizational skills. And if you'd like to be my personal assistant, I can't pay you. But maybe you're an intern and or you want to be an intern and you can use this as a foot in the door for the next bigger um, job. It's just a thought, just a thought. So yeah, so I'd love to hear from you. Give me some thoughts. Give me some feedback here. Um, I did get some feedback the other day from somebody on YouTube left a comment. He was not fond of my propensity for swearing. He was dismayed by that. He was not being a jerk. I will say he wasn't being rude. No, he wasn't being rude. He, in his phrasing, was just trying to understand why I felt the need to use profanity in my shorts. You know, that is right. YouTube shorts. They're just like they're trying to do their take of like TikTok, which Instagram did their take on TikTok, which is their reels. And now YouTube has shorts. So everybody's trying to like, steal some of TikTok's thunder. So he said, paraphrasing, I noticed your propensity for using profanity in your shorts, and I haven't watched your whole episode here, but I'm just wondering why you feel the need to do that, blah, blah, blah. So I sat on that for like a day. I didn't respond for a day because every response that I had initially was not nice. So I ended up kind of being nice and kind of being bitchy. It was like the fine line in between. And what I told him was essentially, I'm not really sure what kind of response you're looking for here, because surely you don't expect that a grown woman of a certain age, who's self-confident, feels the need to answer to anyone, particularly a complete stranger, which obviously is my standpoint here, which I don't owe an explanation. This is my show. Those are my videos. It's my content. Um, I create it. I like 90% of the time, 85% of the time, I produce it. I do all of the things. It makes it mine. So I get to do whatever the hell I want. And I love to swear. I am a person who swears, period. If you don't like swearing, my show is probably not for you. This particular show, I maybe will drop, a couple small ones here and there. And that's because I love my platform, which is Right America Media. I love them very, very much, and the swearing is not a big. It's kind of like a no, thank you, please. They don't say that I can't, but I respect them and I like them a lot, and so I tone it down for them. But on my own stuff that is just solely mine, I'm saying whatever the hell I want. And by the way, my family over at Ram would be fine with it. Probably like twitching. Yeah, no, it's fine. You can do what you want. It's all good. But like I said, that's just a respect thing that I have for them over there, and they've been so wonderful to me. So I like to reciprocate, obviously. Anyhow, so yeah, so that's the thing. So when it is mine, I will do as I choose without apology, without really explanation. And yes, obviously, I did give an explanation, and my explanation was, I do what I do because I can. And I left it on a nice note, so that was kind of like the bitchy part. But I left it on a nice note. I said, I certainly hope that you would continue to follow and enjoy my content, but I respect if it's not your cup of tea. So that's fine. And that was it. And he did respond. It gave a very simple response. And I think he just said something like, as you wish. And that was that. So I take that as you wish. I shall no longer watch. And that's fine. That is a personal choice that he's entitled to. And it was fine that he questioned my choice. Like, you can ask questions, but you just can't expect that you'll get the answer that you want. You'll get an answer, potentially, but it's going to be my answer. Yeah, so that's that. So that was that. Um, I'm not really one to shy away from uh, a little conflict if I must have one. I don't look for 'em. I don't look for 'em. I don't look for trouble, guys. I don't look for trouble. But if it comes to me, fine, I will deal with it. All right, so here's what I want to leave you with. Here's the last thing we are going to talk about today. One of my favorite things to do is leave things on a great positive note. And I always love to talk a little bit about something that one of our fabulous first responders has done in the world. So here's a cute little story, not cute, but a sweet story. About some deputies in Florida who saved a man seconds before a fishing boat burst into flames. This was in police1.com if you'd like to go read it for yourself. So let's see. In Port Salerno, Florida, is where that happened. Author of this article is Amanda Spence. I like to give credit where credit is due. Two deputies are speaking out again about their rescue of an unconscious man seconds before the fishing boat burst into flames over the weekend. Deputies Buddy Sprott and Daniel Hill spotted the boat named Fish Story while they were in training in the area. According to Hill, the fire was becoming larger and getting extremely hot. The officers raced into action, climbing onto the boat, but they found that the hatch at the bow was locked. Sprout told WPTV that he was able to break a window at the side of the boat and talk to the male inside. The only thing that he was able to say was, "I need help." The deputies managed to reach the man and pull him out just in time. The only thing going through my head at this point is, we need to get this guy out, just somehow make it happen, Hill explained. Witness video shows the boat on fire, and the flames were so intense that part of the Martin County Sheriff's Office marine vessel melted. Oh my God. He said, Hill continued, I mean, it was pretty obvious. If we don't pull him out, there's only one way how that ends. The boat owner remains hospitalized, but is expected to be okay. An investigation into the cause of the fire remains ongoing. And so, yeah, wow, that's scary stuff right there. It really is. So that is what we're closing out today's show with. Your positive, uplifting story, which is our hero, first responders. We will see you guys in the next episode. Take care.